Hello, beautiful people. Uh, I don't know if we're live. Yeah, it should be. We should be live now. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in today's live stream, we are gonna check into the new moon in Libra, which is happening in Sunday. That's let me give you the exact time EST. When it's happening according to my calendar here, 25th of September at 5:45 p.m. That's EST. According to my calendar, again, I may be wrong about it. I may be wrong about the hour, but the day it's definitely that. And just let me get back to the stream. So with that said, the first thing that I'm gonna do now, it is the collective reading, and let me shuffle the cards and see what we all have and what kind of a transit that is going to be for every single one of us. Hello, Shanna and Amanda. Welcome to the stream. Hey, News. Good morning. Yeah, it's kind of a morning here. 3 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, good morning. All right. So as a collective, the first card that this transit has, that's going to be the 10 of Swords. Followed by the second card for the transit, which is going to be the Queen of Pentacles. Afterwards, we do have the third card for the transit. That's going to be the Queen of Cups. Moving on next, it is the fourth card, and that's going to be the Page of Cups. And the final card for that transit, that's going to be the Five of Cups. Okay, so these are the 5 cards, and it will be refreshing, for the lack of a better word, for the look of those cards. So what happens actually throughout the transit itself, or what this new moon into Libra is gonna bring us all, is that many of us are going to start realizing that certain aspects that we try to establish are just they simply not going to work out. So the transit, primarily, at least according to these tarot cards, it is about moving from one thing to another, or moving from one disadvantageous to one more advantageous thing, and that will be made with some, can I put it into words, with some extreme actions or drastic decision making. Okay, so the way that we are going to sever ties with one enterprise and jump to another, or we are going to sever ties with one person and jump to another, is going to be done in irrevocable or irreversible as well way, and also how can I put it into words, a method. So the question is, though, what is that it is worth it and what is that it is not worth it? Well, I cannot make choices for you guys, but according to these cards, what is going to worth it developing, that is, or where we should jump from one thing to another, it is that we should jump from a how do you put it into words, short-term enterprises to a long-lasting one. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you are working on a temporary contract, that it is renewed every single month. Well, maybe it's time for you to jump from that contract to another company that it is ready to offer you a year or an annual contract instead of a monthly one. Maybe that you have to jump from a interaction with someone that it is on a day-to-day basis, like, you basically, whenever the date ends up, then it is you are scheduling the next date. Maybe you should jump to someone that you do have a more long-term schedule. You know that every single Sunday or every single Wednesday and Friday you are going to meet, have a dinner, and so on and so forth. So that is literally that is literally how things are standing here. And the reason why we all are going to have the incentive and also the urge to do this, it's definitely a change. It is because we're going to start feeling that there has to be something stable into our lives, or to make our life a bit more stable, especially from an emotional standpoint. Because if you don't have anything to rely on, or you cannot rely on what you like, then your emotions, or our emotions, are like a roller coaster. I mean, you feel good when the thing it's taking place, and when it's over and you don't know is it gonna continue, then you know you reach emotional downs, if not anything else. And so that is why throughout the next couple of weeks we are going to strive and try, not just only try, but even some of us going to extreme measures to exactly reach that consistency into thy life. And what is going to be on our side as an attitude, so to speak, or let's say the energies which are going to support us, that's going to be the, and for the lack of a better word in English, that we are not going to be that picky. Okay, so we are going to be prone to handle much more discrepancies and imperfections into the long-lasting enterprise, rather than strive for having it exactly the way we want it. And whatever we do end up facing as a disappointing uh, characteristics, or as a disappointing turnarounds into the next couple of weeks, those disappointments, rather like disappointments, oh my god, I totally wrapped my tongue around, they're going to be temporary, right? It's not going to be something that we cannot recover from, whether it is being disappointed about something, or whether it is because we think we lost something. These are going to be, like I said, a temporary disappointment, and are going to be also a partial losses. So after this transit, after the next couple of weeks, every single one of us should feel, if not by much, at least by one idea further, a bit more stable and secure into one's life, for one career, and as well for one relationship. So you can expect to establish some long-term projects, some long-term hobbies or therapies, or friendships, or hopefully as well relationship. All right, so that was the unfortunately, Cherio, that's the maximum I can do for now. That is because my parents are sleeping into the next room, and I don't want to wake them up. Okay, so intentionally I am not talking with the maximum strength on my voice that I am usually doing. So you should turn your sound up a little bit as well. All right, so with that said, I'm going to move now to the 12 star signs. So in this live stream, there is going to be a reading for each star sign, guys, starting from Aries, and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And in between the star signs, or the reading for the star signs, there are going to be as well free reading giveaway. One is going to happen after Cancer, another one is going to happen after Scorpio. and the final one is going to take place after Pisces. So whenever I do announce a break, that is the moment for the free reading to take place. And in order to participate into the little contest for the free reading, all you got to do is just input a question that you want me to read for with the tarot cards into the comments down below. And in about 5 minutes, I'm usually giving 5 minutes, I'm going to pick a question, should there be any, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Also, if you do wish to support the channel through super chat, you're gonna get your reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much given. And should your super chat be $20 or above, just like JT did right now, thank you JT, or Jasmine, I'm sorry that I'm always kind of like remembering your true name after I see your initials. Thank you, Jasmine. You're going to get that very same reading I'm doing for the star signs, which is a 5-card spread. Thank you, Jasmine, for your 19.99. Let me put you into the list here, and at the end of the stream, you're going to get your reading. All right. So with that said, the first star sign that I'm going to read for, that's going to be Aries. All right, the first card for Aries, that's going to be the Queen of Pentacles, followed by the second card of the Seven of Swords. Moving on next, we do have the Seven of Wands, followed by the fourth card for Aries, that's going to be the Six of Cups. And the final card for Aries, that's going to be the Three of Cups. Okay, so these 5 cards. And it's an interesting period of time for Aries by the look of the cards themselves, because a little bit goes against the collective reading, the general reading for the transit itself. Now Aries, on the contrary, with the collective reading, they should really kind of like hold their horses for a while, because it looks like that they are skimming through things, whether they're skimming through their friendships or they're skimming through the possibilities for job or for work, or they're skimming through possibilities in general. What those cards are showing is that you, Aries, can develop things better and can go for more with already existing opportunities. And over flooding yourself with more and more opportunities only going to make you overwhelmed, at least according to these cards. And even worse than that, guys, according to them, seeking for more opportunities brings more enemies. Let's put it that way. So your primary standpoint within the next couple of weeks should be that you should look backwards and see for potentials which are heretofore unexplored. Now, because people don't like to hear that it's not good to go for new opportunities, those cards are showing that, for example, you can make your current job better, you can make your current relationship better if you do have any, you can make your current friendships better, or if you are single, you can find someone to date with that you already know. Okay, or rather, like, you can establish a dating stage with someone that you already know. long story short, you don't need any more resources or opportunities to develop the enterprises you are striving for. That's what those cards are showing. And within the next couple of weeks, it does look like that you are going to be like opportunist, I would say. I don't know how to explain that to its final stage. I don't know what to say here, but what I am trying to explain is that anytime that you see an opening, whether into your career or whether into your personal life, it seems that you are going to take it. And that's why I'm saying that you are going to be an opportunist, but people are not going to see you in a bad way doing it. So in fact, you are going to face more admiration than anything else. And the lesson that you are about to learn throughout the next couple of weeks, Aries, it's a pretty valuable one. I think that most of you do know it, but still there are some that's kind of like need to be reminded of it. And according to the cards, the lesson is that if what you do doesn't bring you pleasure, then there is no point doing it. And sometimes, you know, it's better to have a small happiness than no happiness at all, because if you do skim through things, even though those things can make you happy, you're just not giving them, or one just not giving them enough time to fulfill the happiness that one expects from those enterprises. And finally, I want to conclude the reading with you here is that throughout the next couple of weeks, you are going to find yourself being a little bit more amazed, seeing that more and more people are sharing your views, and also you can see a common ground, or rather like a commonalities with more people than you have anticipated. Hello, Rob. I'm okay, or at least I think so. So that was for Aries. Now next one, that's gonna be Taurus. The first one for Taurus, that's going to be the Page of Pentacles, followed by the second card of the Hangman. Moving on, next we do have the Eight of Swords, followed by the Queen of Cups, and the final card for Taurus, that's going to be the Fool. So these are the 5 cards we have. Give me a second, guys. Hello, B. Welcome, welcome to the stream. So, literally, this reading, it's kind of it is kind of screaming to you guys that there is no more room nor a time for you to kind of like slack and scamper around and be idling generally about your site, because what they're showing is that you do possess, or you do have, which is literally the same thing, an aspect of extreme value. Whether you do have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that are extremely valuable, whether you do have a job which is extremely valuable, whether you do have currently an opportunity that you are trying to decide should you take it or not, which is from an extreme value, you can't be idle about it anymore and kind of like wait, hoping that this value is going to develop itself on its own accord. What you got to do here, according to these cards, it is investing into that particular value. Now, because it's a general reading, I can only speculate, but what is very prominent to happen here, it is that many of you are going to realize a specific friendship being of a huge value, and basically start investing into that friendship. For some of those many, that friendship is going to transcend into something far bigger than being just a friendship. Basically, your next couple of weeks, Taurus, are all about realizing how far you can actually be if you do overcome the fear of loss through investment, right? So you got to start investing. Now, these investments could be literally anything. I mean, for some, the investment could be time. For others, the investment could be emotions. For third, the investment could be, money, or simply intellectual property, and so on and so forth. But literally, next couple of weeks, you gotta kind of like trust your instincts, what your instincts are telling you that it is, or that is gonna worth your while, because your instincts are already telling you that, for at least according to these cards. Another thing which is important for you, Taurus, for the next couple of weeks, it is to try to kind of like overcome the differences in communications. So there are those kind of parties in your surroundings and into your environment that it doesn't look like that you can get through, at least at this given stage, or at least not very easy. And next couple of weeks are going to be a weeks where you should strive to kind of like clear up these disagreements or disputes, or basically the disruptions of the communications that you are literally facing. And the universe is going to support you by literally allowing you to undertake actually anything that it is coming your way with ease. That is for as long as you are willing to take the leap of faith. That was for Taurus. Now moving on, next we do have Gemini. I haven't done Sagittarius, Monica. All right, Gemini, first one, Two of Pentacles. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, Two of Pentacles, followed by the High Priestess. Moving on, next we do have the Seven of Wands, followed by the Eight of Swords, and the final one for you, Gemini, that's going to be the Page of Pentacles. So we do have literally those 5 cards. And next couple of weeks for you, Gemini, are going to be a bit, I would say, stressful. That is to a very, very small extent. Why they are going to be stressful? Well, according to my tarot, there will be a lot of shifts into your plans or anticipations. What I mean is that, let's say that you have plans to have a business dinner at Wednesday next week, and it turns out that your client that you are planning to dine with, it's not going to be available at that day, so there is a change into plan. That's not just going to be only into one thing, but it's going to take place into many aspects of your life. And the reason for that, at least for according to these cards, it is how can I put it into words? It is because the view and the concepts you do have for how things need to work out right now are a bit outdated. Okay, so you have to align with the new circumstances and with the new environment, okay, with the new code of conduct, so to speak. And that is going to open up a room for a lot of things for you to stuff in. You know, for example, this dining may not happen in the Wednesday evening, but you can replace it with something as much productive as that. You know, you can have fun, you can spend time with family, and so on and so forth. That doesn't have to be a gap that you just, you know, lay on your couch and you stare at the ceiling on top of you. Okay, so this is going to be basically the primary theme into your into your lunar transit, Gemini. Constantly to be adaptable to the situation that it is arising in front of you, because unfortunately for you guys, you are not going to be the one who dictates what situation you're going to be in, but the environment is going to dictate what situation you are going to be participant of. Now, aside from that, it seems that your sense of what kind of an actions you have to exert in one place or another, what kind of decisions you got to do as well, is going to be very, very sharp. So it's highly, highly unlikely that whenever situations you do face or whatever shifts you have to handle are going to catch you completely unprepared, you not knowing what to do. Always you are going to have an answer. It all comes to that: are you going to exert that answer or not? And the lesson that you will have to learn within the next couple of weeks, it is that it always can be better, it always can be more, it always can be more perfect. But in order that to happen, once again, outdated concepts, ideals, and standards needs to be let go of. So for many of you as well, Gemini, these next couple of weeks are going to be the foundation or the start, the genesis of your change of character. And you can start, and you're going to start changing those aspects of your character that simply no longer work for you, and not just only for you, but also for the people around you, for the opportunities around you, for the jobs around you, for the friendships around you. So you're going to start becoming better and better through a personal shift and growth transformation. Ella and Sherry, welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome. All right, so that was for Gemini. Now moving on, next we do have Cancer. Well, Monica, I have no other way. I know no other way to basically say it. So, hello, Kate. All right, Cancer. First one, that's going to be the Knight of Wands. Moving on, next we do have the Two of Wands, followed by the Knight of Swords. Afterwards, we do have for you the King of Cups. And the final one for you, Cancer, that's going to be the Five of Wands. Liz, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars. Thank you, Liz. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna have your personalized reading for the new moon in Libra. Just let me put you into the list. So for Cancer, I don't know even how to begin to describe the transit that you are gonna go through, guys, because it will be, let me try to explain it that way. So at one moment you are gonna move into that direction, and then suddenly you will decide to go into this one. So it will be a very sudden 180 degrees shift into your interests, into your wishes as well, into your goals, if you will, but primarily into your interests. So that's a very, very good thing if you think about it, because if right now you do have an interest toward one thing or another, or toward one person or another, and things are not working out at all, then shifting of those interests actually are gonna make your basically your day-to-day routine much much pleasant to experience. Usually when the shift of interest happens that way, the new interests which are showing up are very passable and as well plausible, meaning that you are not going to pretty much struggle way too much of basically fulfilling them, for the lack of better expression. And those interests, those new interests, are gonna come very suddenly. So within the next couple of weeks, you should expect some kind of a proposition or some kind of an offer that you did not saw coming. Now, the first thing that you are gonna think of is gonna be that you have been blindsided. But if you do think about it carefully, and you actually approach that offering not emotionally, but rather with a cold mind and intelligence, you're going to see that that's actually tenfold better than what you think your interests lie into. Okay, and that said, this is what's going to cause the shift. So bottom line is that this shift is going to shift as well your experience, and that's pretty much basically about the Cancer reading. So what I do mean is that if your experience right now in love, it's terrible, it's going to shift into very pleasant. Okay, if your experience right now in work is idle, is going to shift into a very active. If your experience right now into personal life is antisocial, is going to shift into social. And these are a positive shifts, because this is where your interests go. All right, so for you Cancer, next couple of weeks are going to be all positive, right? It's highly unlikely that you are going to experience anything unpleasant unless you are stubborn and you do try to insist that although right now your interests shift, you're not gonna let go of what you anticipated beforehand, or you have bestowed upon yourself as a goal beforehand. And that's literally how the next couple of weeks are unfolding for Cancer. And if you thought that your life is a total failure, well, it's gonna be a sudden turnaround, and it's not gonna be a failure anymore. In fact, you're gonna see it as one of the better lives one can have. So with that said, this concludes the reading for the first 4 star signs, and now we are entering into the first break. Within this break, one of you is going to get a free reading. All you gotta do, guys, to get a free reading is just input a question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes I'm going to pick one of the questions, if there are any, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. And afterwards I'm gonna move to the next 4 star signs which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and afterwards Scorpio. Then it's going to be another break, then another 4 star signs, then another break, and then the super chat. So if anyone supports the stream and the channel through super chat, you guys are going to get a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much given. And should your super chat be $20 or above, your reading is going to be that 5-card reading, very same one that I'm giving for the star signs as well. Cheryl, yeah, I mean, tenfold better, it's great, but that's the thing for Cancer. It's very important to follow your interest, even if at the given moment you think that it is a bit unethical for yourself. Okay, that's pretty much the catch. And by the way, guys, I think that I have, well, no, I'm not gonna say that right now. I hope that I'm gonna leave it as a surprise. Randy, the last couple of weeks were rough for every single one of us. Okay, not just only for you, every single one of us. We just experienced it in a very, very different way. For example, last couple of weeks, I sunk like $4,000. Okay, terrible weeks, if you ask me. For others, it's they experience something completely different. I mean, for what I understand right now, aspects in the sky, horrible. Okay, horrible, and we just have to gnash our teeth and just move through those things, or move through that time. Kate, I think that that's you. Thank you so much for your $6. Thank you, Kate. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading. Just give me a moment here. Yeah, it's a shit show. Monica, I haven't done Sagittarius yet. You just have to wait until I reach Sagittarius. Mhm. We can't catch up is an underestimation to what's going on with many of us. It's just at some point it's kind of like you feel like the hits are not gonna stop coming. It's just whenever you recover and try to catch up your breath, another one kind of like smacks you in a different way. And so, oh my god, yeah, last couple of weeks horrible. I hope that this is gonna end very soon. In fact, Pisces moonbeam could enlighten us when approximately we can expect that this particular time, horrible time, is gonna end. All right, no questions. So next one that I'm gonna go to read for, that's gonna be Leo. Well, I don't know, Cherio. I never experienced such a emotional roller coaster. I don't know if it's something easy to handle or not. So basically, it's a shit show till the end of the year. Okay, that's much appreciated. All right. So first one for Leo. That's going to be the Four of Pentacles. Moving on, next we do have the Six of Wands, followed by the Star card. Afterwards, we do have the Queen of Wands. And the final one for Leo, that's going to be the Knight of Wands. So aside from that, you're not gonna find yourself being satisfied with your progress, at least according to these cards, Leo, everything else is going to go very, very well for you in the next couple of weeks. And how can I put it into words? Scaling up how much you accomplished, it's kind of like relative, is it not? I mean, for some which are around you, they're going to see that you did a rather very, very good progress. You, from another hand, are not going to be pleased with the progress you are accomplishing in the next couple of weeks. However, regardless if you are pleased or not, the progress that you are going to accomplish into your business or into your love life are going to make them more and more certain and secure. So we do have the Four of Pentacles, which is into the prime of your reading, and the Four of Pentacles always kind of like as a prime card, it kind of like exerts the influence of establishing a certain future about something. So you can expect in the next couple of weeks to establish the future in your business, to establish, or the future of your business, to establish your future into your current job, for example, to establish a future in one relationship, to establish future in one friendships or social circle, and so on and so forth. And not just only that, but as well to take precautionary measures. Uh, these uh, these aspects of your life that you do find valuable, not to be threatened by anything or anybody. And this basically is going to put an end of a troublesome times for you. So whatever problems you are facing as you are entering into the new moon of in Libra period of time, those problems are going to start diminishing as time progresses of the transit, and at the end of the transit, it's highly unlikely that you're going to face any problems at all whatsoever that have been an old problems. And the lesson that you are to learn from what those cards are showing here, again, like I said, success scale is relative, and while you may not see your actions as successful, others do. And just because you're not happy with your accomplishments, that doesn't mean that your accomplishments are small accomplishments. Another thing that you are gonna learn, it is that people are to be exploited. Take it as you will, okay? That's just, I'm just translating the cards. I don't know how that relates to every single one of you, but it is what they say. People can and are to be exploited. And also you're gonna learn that whenever the strength and the power ends, the will starts. And if you have a will to prevail, you will prevail. That is something, it's a huge lesson that you are going to learn. And the universe is going to support you by you never losing, the word is not hope, it's more like eager and enthusiasm to go forward with, to go forward with your love life, for example, to go forward with your business as well. So in other words, the universe will support you with the energy constantly to seek improvement in one place or in another. But bottom line, you're gonna have a complete difference of what other star sign have. Instead of, you know, change and shift into interest and so on and so forth, you are going to consolidate your positions into business, job, career, love life. uh, is that a new moon in Libra guidance, Pisces moonbeam, that you are giving? You're giving a free guidance to people, eh? All right, next one, that's gonna be Virgo. Oops, Virgo. First one for Virgo, we do have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Eight of Pentacles. Moving on next, that's going to be the Sun. Afterwards, for Virgo, we do have the Tower. And the final card, that's going to be the Two of Cups. Those four cards. Five, I'm sorry, those five cards. Here. Oops. Huh. So it's a pretty mundane and generic reading for you, Virgo. But that doesn't mean that it is less important, guys. So what happened next couple of weeks, it is that you are going to come to a realization, and I believe that that's a perfect reading for you. You're going to come to a realization that things sometimes happens as they are meant to happen, and no matter how much you try to invest into them, and no matter how much you try, how meticulous you are, it just is not going to work the way you want. Okay, and at some point you just have to accept it and resign about it. Now, should you do so, you can end up being very, very happy next couple of weeks, and from next couple of weeks moving forward. Should you not, you are gonna keep up struggling. And that's literally how the lesson stands for you. Now we do have the Tower card, which is for the lesson itself, and the Tower card is about breaking down, whether breaking down situations, whether breaking down phases, or rather like phases into one life, whether breaking down what you have built, or in your case, guys, breaking down perception. So perception that, you know, everything should be as perfect as possible is gonna break down in the next couple of weeks, and you're gonna find yourself being more and more open for a wider option of developments into one same thing. That said, this is gonna open you up for a more cooperations, and that is literally the end goal of the next couple of weeks, to be open for more options available in your love life, in your friendship circle, and as well into your business partnerships also. And how this is gonna come to a fruition, you may ask. Well, as the next couple of weeks progresses, and you are moving through them in time, you're gonna start seeing that and I'm gonna go into a little bit of math science, okay? You will see that there are enterprises which your progression is a logarithmic progression. What does a logarithmic progression means? Well, it means that there is a diminishing returns into the gains, okay? You invest, the more you invest, the less you gain, okay? For example, if you invest $100 now, you get $100, but to get you get $150 back. But to gain for example, $310, you gotta invest $309 in. So there is a diminishing return into your gains the more you progress with the enterprise. And there is another progression which is called an exponential progression. That is, the more the gains are more than what you invest. And so in the next couple of weeks, you're going to learn to move from the logarithmic progression into the exponential progression. Of course, some of your enterprises that you are trying to develop have to be let go of, because you are going to see that they're just not worth the time, they're not worth the efforts, because the gains from them are simply minuscule. They are very small, they are negligible, and just doing it for the shits and giggles, it's not worth it, okay? And so that is literally how you are gonna make the shift. And not everybody is gonna be happy with all that, okay? There are gonna be those people which simply are not gonna be happy with you moving from the enterprise with them into another enterprise that is more beneficial for you. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody is bound to their faith, and just because, you know, you are gonna make someone not angry but displeased, so to speak, that doesn't mean that you have to pretty much struggle for them. So your expectations after the next couple of weeks, it is to end up with more fruitful friendships, more fruitful partnerships, more fruitful relationship, even if you have to jump from one relationship to another. If you do see in the next couple of weeks that the current relationship, it's no longer beneficial for you, and you just have to move on to another relationship, that you're gonna have the option to do so. And finally, I want to give you an advice here. Actually, the cards want to give you advice, and this advice, it is that literally how do I put it into words? The things which are worth doing are the things that are unfold naturally, so you don't have to even struggle to move forward with them, and also the things that you are happy with them. Because you may love someone, guys, but if that person makes you feel bad and sad on a daily basis, does it really worth being with that person? That's an answer that you have to ask yourself. Mattia, thank you so much for your $19.99 US. Thank you, Mattia. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end of the stream, where you're going to get your personalized reading for the new moon into Libra. All right, so next one, that's gonna be the Libra itself. All right, first card for Libra, that's going to be the Six of Cups. Moving on next, we do have the King of Swords, followed by the Devil. Afterwards, that's going to be the Fool. And the final one for you, Libra. Thank you, Cheryl. And the final one for you, Libra, that's going to be the Magician. So a very, very strong transit for your business. Okay, it is just in your business. Next couple of weeks, you are just going to annihilate things. Okay, it's your performance will be literally out of this world for according to these cards. Now, unfortunately, though, you're not going to be an exceptionally good team player for one or another reason. Just let me sip a coffee here. Having that King of Swords into the second position, that card shows that you basically gonna uh, find it difficult to stand on the same intellectual level with others, or rather like others to stand on the same intellectual level with you. What I mean is that whenever you do have a solution to whatever issue you are facing, it is just people will not going to be able to fathom that solution down, but the solution otherwise is going to be extremely effective. And if you try to kind of like make a teamwork, it's just you're going to find yourself in a situation where you constantly have to explain yourself to the people you're working with or you are with in generally why you're doing one thing or another, and what's the reason of it. You know, basically always you have to give an answer to the question why. I want to do this, why? I'm not going to do that today, why? You know, it constantly why. It's not a stupid question, it's an appropriate question. Okay, at least that is how you are going to see it in the next couple of weeks. Into your love life, for what those cards are showing here, if you are single, that's pretty much the ideal state you can be. It is because basically the universe is going to send you a person who will like you and hopefully in the future love you for who you truly are, and you will recognize the individual as there is going to be there is no way you can miss it actually, because there is going to be a physical and emotional pull. It is basically you will like each other's company and you will like each other physically as well. And literally the universe for you, Libra, into the next couple of weeks is gonna bring you a new atmosphere of your life. I suggest you to grab it, and that's literally about it. Now if you do have a choice, rather like, or you can choose what to do, like for example to choose which project to run forward from project A to project B, right? Or you can choose whom to associate with. It will be best if you do choose those or this that you find creative, or that allows you to be creative with it. Right now, in the next couple of weeks, you should not concern yourself too much with money or how much money you can make of it, because for what those cards are showing, if you are good in what you are doing, money are gonna find you on their own, regardless of what have been negotiated at the start of the deal. That's just a guidance from the cards. And that was for Libra. Now moving on, next we do have Scorpio. First one for Scorpio, it is the Ace of Pentacles, followed by the Eight of Swords. Moving on, next we do have the Nine of Pentacles. Afterwards, that's going to be the Ten of Cups. And final one, it is the Six of Cups. Now, if I have to speculate with those cards, guys, it's a business growth. Okay, whether you do have your own business or you are working in a job, it's going to be a growth in it. Okay, and what happens into the next couple of weeks, it is that there is going to be a furthering into that goal. I don't know if you are developing something right now or establishing, I don't know how to explain it, but what you are preparing, long story short, it's going to give results. Okay, so basically what you can expect into the next couple of weeks, Scorpio, it is the whatever business maneuvers you are planning to make, or whatever relationships you are trying to establish, all of them successful. The business maneuvers are going to happen to be very gainful and lucrative, and the relationships are going to end up being quite harmonious. And so you may be trying to pick up yourself together, get back on your feet. All that is going to be reality into the next couple of weeks, because the lesson that you are going to learn, it is that the only thing you needed so that can happen, it's just something to look forward to, something that is gonna bring back the eagerness to pretty much live. Or in other words, you're gonna find worth in life one more time. Literally, the universe, or what the universe brings you as a gift for the next couple of weeks, or brings us, because I'm Scorpio as well, it is that whatever we do, we're going to find pleasantry in it. So there will be no annoyance, there will be no stagnation, there will be no aggravation as well from the activities and the people that we're going to deal with. And that way, it is just next couple of weeks are going to be very pleasant. The only thing that's kind of like bothers me here by the look of those cards for Scorpio is that we may kind of like restrict ourselves in a sense of not being elaborative. Okay, so whenever we want to do something, it will be best to explain it to those which are involved in it. And because I do have a family member who is the opposite of it, it is just they start doing something and you don't know what they're doing. You ask them and they are telling you to shut the hell up. Okay, it's very frustrating. So don't do it, at least not for the next couple of weeks. But literally, I have nothing more to say rather than whatever initiations you do have into the next couple of weeks, all of them are doomed to succeed. I'm very pleased of seeing that. Really pleased. All right, so that concludes for Scorpio, and now we are moving to the second break. And within this break, one of you is going to get the free reading, guys, and all you got to do is just input your question that you are concerned about, in a sense of a question that you want me to read for with the tarot cards. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do so, and after those 5 minutes I'm going to pick one of your questions, if there are any questions, and I'm gonna make a professional reading on it. And afterwards I'm gonna do the last 4 star signs, which are gonna be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Then another free reading is going to take place, and then the super chat readings are going to take place. So anyone who supports the stream and the channel through super chat, you guys are going to get a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much given. And should your super chat be about $20 or above, the spread is going to be that 5-card spread that I'm using for the star signs themselves. Sherry, thank you so much for a $20 super chat. Thank you, Sherry. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're going to get your personalized reading for the new moon in Libra. a course of study that I do recommend. I don't know, I haven't been in too many courses myself. I can only guide you to what type of a course rather than what kind of a course, or maybe vice versa. So, courses which are focused on, how can I put it into words, generic stuff. For example, I would never go to a course how to read tarot with confidence. That's terrible. It's basically they're gonna tell you probably not to doubt yourself, which is something you already know, or how to do intuitive readings. That's also something that either you have it. I'm not disputing here the intuition. Either you have it or you don't. Okay, I would not gonna go to courses that, you know, their for example advertisement, it's pretty packed, or rather like a cramped. Okay, because that to me tells me that there is too much advertisement, and actually the course is going to be all about a just generic talks. Okay, for example, I went to a course of a colleague of mine, so to speak, here in Bulgaria, just on a one lecture, just to see, you know, how people were doing their stuff. And basically that person was talking about 4 tarot cards, and it is talking about how what kind of deities the Romans kind of related to those tarot cards, and these kind of, you know, stuff that you are never gonna use. Okay, so you go to a courses that have a practical exertion of what they are telling you. But if you do really want to sign up for a course, I could advise you to go to the Silver method. All right, Silver method, try it out. It's something that changed my life. Chandra, thank you so much for 1999. Thank you, Chandra. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for the transit. I was a couple of, not couple of months, half a year ago, I was on a course of a Photoshop, and it was really good one. The only thing I didn't liked about it, that it was a speeded up one. They kind of like showed us within basically 6 lectures, so much information. It was so cramped that, you know, half of the things I couldn't even fathom how are done. But in its core, the course was great because it literally showed you the whole Photoshop and how to do it. Okay, so that was a really good one. But if you go, for example, at a course of a Photoshop, and they're telling you, you know, the history of Photoshop, what kind of accomplishments were done with Photoshop, that's pretty much super useless. Okay, and you can't use it, and unfortunately many courses are like that. uh, I am laughing because there was a leak of a seminar, how to be successful, and basically the number one advice, it is that if you want to be successful, you gotta work more. No shit. I mean, and if you have to pay money for that, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right, so I guess there are no questions for a super reading, for a personal reading, or rather like for a free reading. Oh my God. Mercury retrograde, guys. Let's blame it to Mercury retrograde. So next one, it is Sagittarius. Let me shuffle. That this gift that you attach to your super chat, Chandra, very mesmerizing. Very mesmerizing. And it's a console controller. Hello, Zaida. So I hope that I made my points across on what type of a courses I would go. All right, so the first card for Sagittarius, that's going to be the King of Cups, followed by the Knight of Pentacles. Moving on next, we do have the Seven, or the Eight of Cups, I'm sorry. So the Eight of Cups. Afterwards, that's going to be the Seven of Wands. And the final one is going to be the Ten of Pentacles. Thank God that I do have a lot of Sagittarius, because that's really, really good one. So Sagittarius, within the next couple of weeks, you are going to get an offer. Take it. Thank you, Chero. So yeah, you are going to get an offer. Take it. I will take it. Okay. This offer, it's going to be different offer. In fact, many of us are going to be shocked where this offer is coming from, whom is making, or who is making that offer to us, or the nature of the offer itself. But by a definition, there is going to be literally no reason for us not to take the offer. Now, for some of us, it's going to be an offer for a job. For others, it's going to be an offer to make family. For third, it's going to be an offer of some kind of a business, and so on and so forth. But an offer is coming your way. Now, this offer, it will present us, or rather like it's gonna promise, a better future. It's simply that offer is gonna be in a place where right now we are not very happy of. For example, if you're not happy with your love life, that's where the offer comes. If you're not happy with your job, that's where the offer comes. All right. If you're not happy with your family, well, I don't know how you can change your family, but this is where the offer comes. And the offer is going to be structured in such a way that is going to present us with a, like I said, better future, or a better perspective for the future. Now, this is going to be just only a presentation at the start, but it can and it will be a reality should we take the offer. And that is what I said, that is what I said that at the start, that there is literally no need for us to basically deny the offer. And the lesson is pretty simple, although pretty sound, that whenever the bird kind of lands on your shoulder, you gotta know it, you gotta recognize it. Okay. Basically, whenever you are given the in my country we say the bread, it's not actually a bread, but it's bread in its core. So whenever you are given a bread, take it. Okay, don't deny it. And that's what we need to learn, that whenever when we do have an opening or an opportunity or a chance, we simply have to take it. The universe literally is gonna help us into the next couple of weeks by not allowing anyone to interfere with our deeds. What I mean is that we are gonna be probably most independent of for a while ago. I don't know if I'm expressing that correctly, but let's say that that's going to be the most independent time that we are experiencing for the last year, and that is going to be for a reason that is not going to, we are not going to be obstructed to whether take or not to take the offer. And also, that is a speculation, but most likely that offer is going to come from a person we lost contact with, but we already know. That is just a speculation here. Okay. But on the flip side, just so you know, it is that planned actions for the next couple of weeks, not all of them are going to work out, and not all of them are going to be applicable. So you may face, or we may face, some aggravation in that regard in the next couple of weeks. And that is literally how it goes for Sagittarius. Now moving on, next we do have not Sagittarius, we do have Capricorn. First one for Capricorn, Six of Cups, followed by the Four of Swords. Moving on, next we do have the Emperor. Afterwards, that's going to be the Tower. And the final one, Six of Pentacles. Hello, Sean. Shanna, unfortunately, I am not at home, and I think I forgot my Lenormand cards, so I don't have Lenormand around. I can offer you that, Shanna. Thank you for your $10 US, by the way. If you do want Lenormand, you can leave it for the next live. I am gonna put you into the list, and I'm gonna save you for the next live stream, or I can go for a tarot reading, but right now I don't have Lenormand cards. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for your $10 US. Or you can send me an email, and as soon as I go home, which is going to happen Monday, I'm going to send you the Lenormand reading. Okay, tarot it is then. All right, back to Capricorn. Well, Capricorn, next couple of weeks are gonna be stressful. Okay, it's just it will feel like you will have to do all at once, and we can see that into how the Four of Swords and the Emperor stands into their respective positions. And I don't know, it's just, you know, I do have a friend whom has that expression, which I really, really like. Whenever, you know, something unpleasant happens, and I say it could always be, I mean, it can't be any worse than that, he looks at me with smile and say, well, you know, good things, when they are good, but bad things, they can always go worse. So you are going to pretty much learn that, guys, into the next couple of weeks. I mean, Capricorn, that is. You are going to learn that, how can I put it into words? If you do not exert control, if you do not exert consistency and management, things can go south pretty rapidly, very quickly, and they can go out of control. And unfortunately, you are going to learn that by allowing one of your aspects to go down that way. So you can expect a severe deterioration into a field of your life. It could be a field that you don't give a dime about, okay? Or it could be a pretty significant one. It's going to be a different for each one of you. But nonetheless, at some point in the next couple of weeks, you are going to experience crisis. And once you do learn your lesson, and that crisis is going to be managed, by the way, you will do whatever you can, and not just only whatever you can, but you will successfully manage that crisis. Afterwards, you're going to learn to be grateful, you know, for the peace you have, rather than to strive for a, I don't know, for a lack of peace. Because, you know, there are people who always want to have something around to do. Well, you will see that that's not always a good thing, to have. Another thing for you, Capricorn, it is that next couple of weeks are going to be very sobering, in a sense of that you will see that if you do want to end up being happy, successful, etc., etc., you're going to do it for yourself, guys, because no one else is going to do it for you. Those cards are showing that a huge realization is going to come about, that you alone have to handle with your insecurities, your problems, your misfortunes, and the lackings as well. Whatever you lack, you have to compensate yourself. No one else can. And that is a bit discouraging, because you may see your, for example, significant one that it is unsupportive, and it's not like they don't want to support you, just they can't support you in this given moment. You may see your job, for example, ungrateful, and it is not like the management of your work is ungrateful. It is just they cannot show their gratitude at this very moment, because no matter what anyone does, unless you do fix your issues, no one else can. And again, some Capricorn may have a bigger issues than other. Some Capricorn may have more important issues than other. You know, for example, an issue may be that, you know, you are quick to light up, right? Quick to anger. That may be an issue. You may not give a dime about it, so you don't have much to fix it, and your transit is going to move peacefully. But if, for example, you do have an issue how you're handling with business partners, and you're constantly losing business partners, that just for example, then that's a place that you will have to look into, see it as a crisis, one, and manage that crisis. In the love front for the next couple of weeks, Capricorn, you're not gonna have too much to play around it. Aside from that, it is possible, not within anyone, or rather, like, it's not going to happen to every single Capricorn, but it is possible to crush on someone. Suddenly you just have a crush, okay? And into the business front, this is most likely where the crisis is going to show up. So buckle up and try to manage it to the best of your abilities. You will. It's just the matter of a fact is how much you will have to struggle to manage that crisis. So that was for Capricorn. Now moving on, next we do have Aquarius. For Aquarius, first one, that's going to be the Five of Wands. Moving on next, we do have the Eight of Cups, followed by the Five of Pentacles, afterwards, we do have the Seven of Swords. And the final card for Aquarius, that's going to be the Eight of Wands. These 5 cards. So hello, Tracy. Yeah. And Anna, hello. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the stream. So for Aquarius, next couple of weeks, very active. In fact, I'm a bit concerned. I am rising Aquarius, and it seems that we barely gonna be able to catch up our breath. Not because there are going to be difficult things to do, but because there are going to be many things to do. I mean, many things are going to move around. And actually, for many of us, it's going to be very, very crazy that to kind of like undergo the day-to-day routine in the next couple of weeks. For some of us, it's going to be so active to such an extent that we will have to pretty much start seeing life in a different way. Okay, we will have to change our lifestyle, literally change our lifestyle. Let me sip a little bit of a coffee. But basically, those activities are going to allow us to basically transform aspects of our life that we consider failing into a successful ones. So if we are considering that, that is just, for example, if we are considering that our marriage is failing for those who are married, right? Then those activities are going to happening regarding the marriage itself. Okay, so these activities are going to involve us and our wife or husband. And basically through those activities, we can stabilize, and not just only stabilize, but as well improve, make something very positive out of our marriage. Should our career be very fragile here, you know, and we consider failing, same thing, you know, these activities happening into our career is going to be a crazy experience, very, very active. But at the end, if we participate into them and change our lifestyle according to those activities, we are going to stabilize our position into our job and as well our career. It is just the universe. What those cards are showing, it is that the universe, it's giving us many options available, you know, how to improve our life within the next couple of weeks. And the lesson that we need to learn, in fact, it is to think of ourselves first and foremost. Listen, that's kind of the lesson. No matter, guys, how much you are trying to please everyone around you and how much effort you put into that, there is always going to be someone that it's not happy with you. There is always going to be someone that is displeased, no matter what you do. So, Aquarius, why don't you, in the next couple of weeks, this time around, for a change, you do something for yourself first? And that is exactly how these activities, which are coming under a very surprising circumstances. So these are going to be, like I said, a out of nowhere seemingly is showing up an opportunity to do something in your marriage or into your career. And if you think for others before you think for yourself, then you're not going to take it and you're going to lose from it. So next couple of weeks, unfortunately, or fortunately, for me it's fortunately, for some people it's unfortunately, you gotta be selfish. Sometimes I advise against it according to the cards. Sometimes I do advise for it. Right now it's for it, and I'm actually pleased for it, because as you know, my opinion is that if you don't do anything for your happiness, no one else is going to. Hey Lawrence. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, that's literally how the next couple of weeks are gonna run for you, Aquarius. And don't waste your options available, guys. You're gonna have many of them, and just despite of what kind of impact they're gonna have on those around you, try to make your life better, because no one else is gonna make your life better but yourself. And last but not least, we do have Pisces. Tracy, thank you so much for your 1999. Thank you, Tracy. Let me put you into the list. Let me read the question. Anna, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars. Thank you, Anna. You also make sure that you do stick around up until the end. Yeah, Tracy, that's why I stopped for a second to read your question, because kind of like I need to pick a appropriate spread for it. So basically, you want to know if your new plans are going to lead you to the destination you want. Well, a little bit of a spoiling here, guys. In such kind of a questions, if you do have that kind of a question, for example, am I doing the right thing to whatever I want to happen? What card you are looking for, or the best card you can have in those situations, that's the Hermit. Okay. But if you are asking, for example, are you on the right track with your life, which is different thing, then the best card you can have into that question, that's the Moon. And if you ask what is am I doing the best thing for myself, then the best card you can have, that's the Sun. So there is a difference. And when it came to the what kind of courses to sign, that kind of a courses which are explaining you, you know, the differences of different tools of different situations. It basically gives you a practical knowledge rather than just theory, and nothing you can do out of this theory. Thank you, Anna, one more time. Let me put you into the list. So am I going in the right direction with my new plans? Okay. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for your 10 US dollars. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your reading. All right, last but not least, we do have Pisces. Okay, Tracy, I'm gonna check that one out into the super chat reading. All right, for Pisces, first card, that's gonna be the Queen, the Empress, sorry, followed by the Hangman. Moving on next, for you Pisces, we do have the Death card, and I literally don't have to draw any more cards, guys. I know what we're talking about here. Then it is the Moon. The final one, it is the World. But look at that. I mean, it's a train, is it not? 5 out of 5 major arcana. How much time you do have that? Well, that's gonna be a life determining transit for at least as far as those tarot cards are standing for. And it's about the choice that you cannot postpone or neglect or deny. And basically the way you make the choice, it is the way your future will develop. What do you need to know from these cards, guys? It is that your decision is going to be final. I mean, there is no going back from it. The World in the last position, it's guaranteeing that whatever you say, for example, you say, I don't want to be with you, that's final, and you're never going to be with her or him. You say, I don't want to do that job, you're never going to do the job, right? But if you do say, I want to be with you, you are going to be with her or him forever. Whether as a lovers or as a friends, you are going to be attached forever, okay? So you have 2 weeks to decide what to do. If you don't, the universe is going to decide for you. And we can see that with the Moon card. You're going to learn, if you have to in a hard way, that what is meant to happen is going to happen. And currently what is meant to happen is for you to make a choice, okay? And if you do not do it, like I said, the universe is gonna do it for you. So probably you are expecting right now to guide you what kind of a choice that should be, or which is the better option. Well, according to these cards, the better option, it is the one of replacement, okay? So you do replace what no longer works with what does work or what can work. That's the thing. For example, you replace the current job with another one, or you do replace the current house you have with another one, or you do replace some kind of a friend with another one. A choice that favors replacement, it is the better choice, at least according to these cards. No matter what though, your decision should be very maturely made. Emotional outbursts, doing things out of grievances, you know that what you are about to choose in favor for, it's wrong, but just so you can shove it in someone's face or in someone's ass, you're gonna do it anyway. That way you are completely gonna obliterate your future, at least according to these cards. So if you do need some time to withdraw from the midst of activities and from the ideas of the world and the others, do it, because that is one of the most important decisions that you are stand on the verge of making, maybe in your entire life. And that's literally how those cards are standing here. And what is the reading for you, Pisces? Hello, Eunice. Long time no see. And that is the Pisces reading. Now the last pre-reading is taking place, guys, and if you do have any questions that you want to address to the tarot cards, now is the time for you to input your question. into the comments down below. And after about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of your questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it, if there are any questions. If not, I'm moving to the super chat readings. Anyone who supported and is about to support the channel through super chat, you guys are going to get a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much given. And should your super chat be $20 or above, you're going to get the very same type of reading as I'm doing at the, for the star signs, which is a 5-card spread. I don't wanna jinx myself, so I'm gonna say I'm doing okay. You're welcome, Lisa. What kind of a question is that, Sean? Thank you, Cheryl. Well, I get your concern, Sean. It is your property, isn't it? So I don't know, you can cut it down and use it for something. That way you're not going to feel bad because you actually used it for a particular thing, or you can donate it, to people that cannot afford heat through winter. Hold on a second. Oh, that's all right. I mean, use it for something. Make a stall or something like that. Make a table, or simply give it to people that cannot afford heating. I mean, one big oak should be enough for a few days. Heating. That's also a good deed that you are gonna do. Uh, what is what is the course that you are considering going for, Jasmine? I'm asking because I do want to see if I can give you any advice, because the question that I'm gonna take, that's Anna's one, because it seems that she is in front of a choice to make. It's a pretty serious one. What business, or rather, like, should she invest into a certain business? And that's why I'm gonna take that question. But I do wanna help you if I can with my advice, Jasmine. Medical intuition? What in the world? Am I reading this correct? Medical intuition? It's just flabbergasting what kind of things people are making up in order to make money. Medical intuition. Now, if you say that to a doctor, they're gonna probably laugh in your face, and that is enough to kind of like tell you what kind of a course you are signing yourself up. Medical intuition. Oh my God. Taco, thank you so much for your 22 US dollars. Thank you, Taco. This time around, I will make sure not to forget about you, mate. Truth be told, Jasmine, I wouldn't sign up for that. It's not a science. Um, and truth be told, you can mistreat someone by it. If the course is about what I think it is. Someone tells you what is wrong with them, and you intuitively decide what kind of a treatment they should have and what kind of a diagnosis to place. That's not serious. I don't know. I mean, if you think that this is gonna kind of like bolster your effectiveness, then go for it. To me, a course, like I said, it should have some practical incorporation. In other words, in the course, they teach you patterns that you can basically make something physical out of it. Um, I don't know. Like I'm telling you, Jasmine. I mean, if it is about intuition, if you have it, you have it. All right. If you don't have it, no matter how many courses you sign up for, it's useless. That's my opinion. Anna, those are your cards. Just only the answer is yes, but there is no issue with it as well. So their advice and guidance is go forward with it, because you are going to be successful, very, very successful. All right, a couple of minutes, guys, and I'm moving to the super chat readings. Tracy, your reading is going to be at the very end because it has a specific inquiry with it. And yeah, I think we checked on that few times now, and every time the cards are showing that you are gonna be good at it. Not just only good, but it's gonna bring you money, emotional fulfillment. Yeah, they did. Thank you, Sean. But yeah, they did. All right, Kate, your card for the new moon in Libra is the Knights of Pentacles, the Knights of Wands. So, Kate, you can expect quite of an interesting couple of weeks in front of you. There are going to be a lot of enterprising events that are going to take place. Now, important thing is that you do set yourself up only with those which you do find interesting. Once again, you are not obliged to be everywhere at every time, because otherwise you are going to burn out pretty quickly. For example, if 3 people are asking you out for a date, just go only with those that you find interesting, not with every single one out of courtesy. All right. Same thing it is that if you are addressed with, say, several projects that you can take part of, go only with those that you do find interesting rather than every single one out of courtesy, and so on and so forth. And one more thing, Kate, whatever activity you invest yourself into within the next couple of weeks, make sure that you are ready to get to the very end of it, because that is what's going to be required from you. And finally, if you do need help is going to come about in the next couple of weeks. Shanna, your card, it is a 4 of Pentacles, catalyzed with the King of Cups. So not much to be said here, Shanna, and I wished we had a Lenormand because they would have shown a little bit better. But what those cards are showing it is that you are going to get a proposition that will be, how can I put it into words? It will be, well, basically is going to secure your future, so to speak. So that may be a proposal or a proposition or a contract, so to speak, for a huge job, or for a marriage. It is just some kind of a proposal that's you will, it's very tempting, and you basically won't be able to resist it, nor you should have to resist it. But after the next couple of weeks, Shana, you will be better in every single way when it comes to your life, and you will find yourself ensuring the certainty of your future. Sean, we have the Ace of Wands for you with the Four of Swords. Those couple of cards shown, and because your problems are going to diminish within the next couple of weeks, whether money problems, whether business problems, or whether domestic problems, now you are going to find time to address a gainful enterprise which you do have around you, is sitting around you, waiting for you to make time for it, and you will find yourself having the time for it. If you don't have the gainful enterprise, is gonna come your way. Another thing about those couple of cards shown, it is that if you are feeling yourself being in a maze, like having no way out of something, the way out is going to be presented to you within the next couple of weeks. And finally, especially professionally wise, next couple of weeks are gonna present you with a way of making significant amounts of money through a professional cooperation. So that is the most significant things for you shown for the next couple of weeks. Now next one, that's gonna be Jasmine. Let me reshuffle Jasmine and see what kind of a new moon in Libra is that you are gonna have. The first one is Queen of Pentacles, followed by the Four of Swords. The third one for you, Jasmine, that's going to be the Ten of Cups. Moving on next, this is the Page of Swords. And the final one for you, Jasmine, that's going to be the Three of Pentacles. So for this particular transit, Jasmine, it seems that you will find more opportunity within your current enterprises rather than outside of your current of your current enterprises. And contrary to my opinion, by the look of those cards, maybe signing up for that course is not going to be a bad idea at all. Okay, that is contrary to my personal opinion. That is because we do have the Four of Swords, okay, into the second position, and that pretty much means that no matter what anybody else thinks or what anybody else's opinion is about you and what you are to handle, you should go with what you find as a potential. Okay, that's literally how those cards are standing. And if you go forward with what you find yourself being happy with, or find yourself having a use of, I don't know how to put it into English, then all of it is going to be pretty much productive. Now the universe is going to bring you as a gift a lot of support from the society around you, from the people that you are working with, from your family members, generally from everyone that it is around you. And this is going to bring you a lot of fruitful discussions, a lot of cooperations as well. But at the end of the day, what is going to matter, it is how much you can do by yourself. And again, by yourself, you will start looking in opportunities inside your already established domain. therefore potentials heretofore unexplored, which are there waiting pretty much for you. And that's how your new moon into Libra stands. And a big lesson that you will learn there is that, again, I already said it, but that is also the lesson. It is that you may have your thoughts about things, and it is just because people do not agree with your thoughts, that doesn't make your thoughts wrong. In fact, according to these cards, your right way moving forward is anybody's guess. So you make sure it is your guess rather than someone else's. Next one, that's going to be Liz. Let me shuffle Liz. Well, Taco, yeah, we are all exhausted from it. But like we said at the start of the stream, till the end of the year, it's just the transit, the planets, everything. It's kind of like a shit show. So I guess we just have to gnash our teeth and move through it. All right, Liz, first one, that's going to be the Hierophant. Second one is going to be the Star card. Third one, that's going to be the Five of Wands. Fourth one, that's going to be the Nine of Wands. And the last one, that's going to be the King of Swords. Okay. So for you, Liz, it's a problem-solving period of time for what those cards are showing, especially addressing those problems which heretofore you find unsolvable. Now, within the next couple of weeks, the universe is going to gift you with the strategy to resolve them, and this strategy is going to be extremely effective. Now, as far as it goes to your hopes, unfortunately, within the next couple of weeks, you are going to see some, if not many, of your hopes and dreams a bit unrealistic, at least for the time being. And so you are going to turn your glance or your efforts to more tangible results, to more tangible, how can I put it into words, opportunities. Now, the prime of your new moon into Libra, it is that you are gonna improve your trust and reliability with your friends, your beloved ones, your significant ones, your colleagues, and also as an activities, you are going to separate your activities and diminish those which are, can I put it into words? I'm sorry, guys, I'm a bit tired now. Well, as an activities, you are going to associate yourself only with those activities which you do not care about what kind of gains you are going to have at the end, because you would love to be a part of the activity. The gains are going to find you literally on their own accord. So the reason you're going to go through such a thing, Liz, it is that according to the cards, there are a lot of aspects in your life which are making your life harder. It's not like they're making your life dysfunctional, but they're making it harder than it needs to be. And so this next couple of weeks are going to be dappled with processes of unnecessary adjustment, so you make your life easier, or as easy as it can be, and afterwards you know, you can step on the resolution of these problems that you find unresolvable up until this point and just improve from there. But for the next couple of weeks, once again, it is all about making your life, your experience, and as well your interactions as easier as they can. And that will happen through the conscious changes of yours into your environment. So you do hold the reins of your steed. It all comes to that where you navigate them. Okay, so navigate them correctly. Next one, that's going to be Mattia. Let me shuffle. You're welcome, Liz. First card for you, Mattia, that's going to be the Four of Wands, followed by the second card of the Knight of Wands. Moving on next, this is going to be the Nine of Cups, followed by the Star card. And the last one, that's going to be the Queen of Swords. So, Mattia, I don't know if you're watching, and we do have a scheduled reading with you Tuesday. And now looking at those cards, I do suspect what that reading is going to be about. So what those cards are showing, it is that something is gonna open up if certain conditions are to be met. And the bigger question maybe you are asking yourself is it worth meeting those conditions in order that thing to take place? Yes, it does. According to these cards, yes, it does. So next couple of weeks, Mattia, you are on the verge of finalizing important cycles of life, finalizing an important deal, finalizing an important qualification, finalizing an important partnership, finalizing things which are happen to be milestones that you can step on, and from there start, you know, manifesting whatever dream you do have, so to speak. And that's literally the topic of your transit here. And I don't have anything more to say, literally, because they are very telegraphed. I mean, the whole reading is very telegraphed. As far as your gift goes, you are to be given with the ability to push your things through no matter what. So whatever you say goes, whatever you need comes, whatever you want happens. That's according to the cards. And the lesson that you are to learn is a lesson usually I do not advocate to, but it is within your environment. That is that if it doesn't happen your way, better not happen anyway. That's literally the lesson. Next one, we do have Sherry. The only thing, Mattia, that you are endangered of, it's burnout. Okay, like you may feel very exhausted, fatigued, with a lack of concentration and enthusiasm to keep pushing forward, but you gotta find it within yourself. Sherry, Ten of Swords, with the Emperor, followed by the Queen of Cups. Moving on next, that's going to be the Six of Pentacles. And the final one, that's going to be the Sun. Well, Sherry, I'm sorry about the things I'm going to say, but it seems that for you, shits are really going to hit the fan within the next couple of weeks. And the worst is that you will not going to be able to do much about it. I don't know where exactly that's going to take place. It could take place into your career or into your love life or into your friendships. They are really, it's just the situation will become unmanageable, or rather like you will not going to be able to exert control over that particular situation. And it all comes to that, Sherry. Can you go with the flow or not? And that's, by the way, a lesson that you need to learn, because according to these cards, Sherry, next couple of weeks, your enterprises or undertakings are going to start shifting of intentional development that you are intending to do, into a natural development. And all comes to that, your happiness literally depends on it. Can you adjust to the natural development instead of the intentional development? Now, I said that shits are gonna hit the fan, but that doesn't need to have a negative impact on your life. I mean, you definitely don't have to end up working where you're working or what you are working for right now. You definitely don't have to sever your relationship. You definitely don't have to lose any friends there. In fact, according to these cards, it will be best if you do stick with what you already have. Just surrender to the flow. That's what those cards are showing. And should you surrender to the flow, Sherry, you will be much happier than when you try to control the flow, because it doesn't want to go where you want it to go, or it doesn't want to go through the path that you want it to go. And you're going to learn that in the next couple of weeks. Chandra, you are next. All right, so first one, Chandra, we do have the Magician, followed by the Sun. Moving on next, we do have the Two of Swords. Afterwards, it is the Nine of Swords. And the final one, that's going to be the Seven of Swords. Let me sip a coffee. Chandra, you know these moments where you do have that impression, if you don't do something, things are going to fall apart? Well, next couple of weeks are going to be pretty much suffused with those situations for you. It basically, you will be a part of situations where you know you can handle it, but it will be advisable not to do anything at that point, okay? Or it's going to be very, very risky. Now, according to the cards, Chandra, you will stand in front of a lot of choices and actions that you gotta decide, or rather, like, you will have to decide how to proceed. A lot of those situations are going to be in front of you in the next couple of weeks, and none of them is going to be clear. I mean, it's not going to be obvious if you do A or B that is going to be successful and what kind of a consequences is going to bring. So your right move here, Chandra, is to wait, and that's the difficulty. You know you can handle it, but you have to wait. Why? Because there is going to be a missing piece of an information or a circumstance. So something is yet to happen, and when it happens, that will make your decision making about how to proceed forward obvious, and that's how you literally do it. But the fear of that, of the deterioration, and the fear that if you don't act now, things are going to go beyond control is going to be there. And at some points you may give up to the fear. I mean, you can do something to handle with the situation. You may succeed as well, okay, because you may do the right thing. All that those cards are showing, it is that if you wait enough, the right thing is going to become obvious to you. And no matter how the situation looks like, you do have time. Now, on the grand scheme of things, it looks like that within the next couple of weeks, your word is to be heard. Okay, whatever you say, people are going to see reason into it, and they're going to find it very, very difficult to argue. And also, whatever actions you make, they will breed results. Now, whether those results are sustainable, whether those results are enough, that is yet to be seen. And that is why you don't want to rush your decisions. That is why you don't want to rush your actions, because you would want your results to be, the results of those actions and decisions to be long-lasting ones instead of just a temporary solution. All right, next one, that's going to be Anna. I have Anna, and then it is you, Taco. So in about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, Anna. First one for you, we do have the Hangman, followed by the Ten of Swords. Moving on next, that's going to be the Star card. Afterwards, we do have the High Priestess. And the final one, we have the Eight of Cups. Very similar to Chandra's reading, Anna. It's basically next couple of weeks, you will realize that you have done enough, or you did what you could, so to speak. And now it's all in the hands of the universe. Or rather, like, well, let me try to explain it that way. Let's say that you are trying to make a bargain, right? And up until this point, you did your best. You presented your best conditions, okay? You made your best negotiations, and now you can't do anything more but just to wait the other side of the bargain to say yes or no. Okay, so that kind of a situations you're gonna find yourself into the next couple of weeks. And for according to these cards, there isn't much to be said here, Anna, aside from the chill out, right? Next couple of weeks, are you chilling out and observing? Because according to them, things are going to start developing on their own accords. And it's similar to Chandra because you have to wait, but in the same time very different, because if Chandra can basically succeed into actions shooting blindly, you can't. Any actions you do according to the cards is going to make things far worse than they are. We have that with those two cards. Let me give you an example. Let's say you like someone, okay, and you ask them out. Usually women don't ask men out, but let's say you ask that person out and they told you they are going to think about it, okay? You leave them think about it, or they told you, yeah, but right now I don't have any time, let me call you back. And they don't call you on the next day, they don't call you on the second day, they don't call you a week. If you reach out and ask them when, they're never going to call you back. Okay, so you basically let it settle down, and it's going to resolve on their own accord. So again, next couple of weeks for you, Anna, are weeks for you chilling out and observing, because whatever you prepared and made, for example, if you had prepared your hairdress business, those cards are showing that right now it's not the time, it's not the soil, it doesn't have the environment, you don't have the best place to open it, and so on and so forth, but you did your best. to prepare it, okay? And when it is ready to be initiated, you will see it for yourself. I mean, the time is going to present it by itself to you. And this is for a reason, for you to learn a lesson. Then that if you are to establish something, if it is not going to be a long lasting, well, it's literally the one that Chandra had, but if it is not going to be a long lasting one, there is no reason for you to establish it. And additionally to that lesson, it is another one that long-term things, they happen slowly, because those that happen instantly, they can fall apart literally instantly. But those cards are assuring, Anna, that whatever ideals you do have in a sense of strive, whether business or whether relationship, you are on the right track with them. All right, next one. That's gonna be Taco. It is your reading, Taco. Eight of Swords, followed by the Nine of Swords. Moving on, next it is the Lovers, followed by the Hermit, and the final one is gonna be the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, Taco, that's a guidance reading for you. I don't know what kind of plans you do have for the next couple of weeks. But you will see that many people disagree with you, and not just only disagree with you, but they name you things, okay? For example, your family may name you a fool that you are gonna buy a new video game, just for example. That is because I know you do play video games. Or your wife is gonna find you for a fool that you want to change your job. That's just for example. It's just people are gonna be not displeased, but it's kind of like they will not understand you. Okay, that's going to be the main issue. You will have these huge disruption in the communications. You're trying to explain yourself, and it's just the other side can't fathom. Okay, so what do? You don't give a dime about it. Okay, we do have the Lovers card into the third position, and that means that you have to exert harmony in your life. Okay, that now this next couple of weeks are entirely about you. You gotta exert harmony in your life, and you have to, and if you have to decide what to do, you decide it in a way how you want it rather than how you have to do it. So if you have to choose where to travel, you travel where you want to travel rather than where you have to travel. Okay, that's literally the guidance. Because Taco, bottom line here, for according to these cards, as a lesson, what you gotta learn, mate. I believe that's a Hindu lesson. I had a Hindu colleague one day, and or back in the days, I'm sorry, and one day when we were just walking around in the downtown of Sofia, he was on a business trip in Bulgaria. We were talking about things from life, you know, and he was Hindu, and he is Hindu still. And he told me, well, listen, my friend, he said, it's all such a bullshit, because family comes and goes, jobs comes and goes, love comes and goes, you know, even passions comes and goes, hobbies comes and goes, money comes and goes, everything comes and goes. And what you are left with at the end, it's yourself, and that's about it. Okay, so you make sure that you do it best for yourself. And that's literally your lesson, that you will learn that at the end of the day, you are the important one, not anybody else, but you are the important one, and anything that it is important for you, not for anyone else. Okay, so, and by learning that, you are bound to kind of like how you made it, how you said it here. You are exhausted by this death and rebirth phase. You are no longer gonna have to go through it, because there is nothing to die anymore, because you are going to attend only to what is important to you. So it's a huge wake up transit for you, Sako. And finally, it's Tracy with a specific inquiry. So am I on the right? Yeah, literally. And by the way, I can go on and go on, but it's because I don't want to make a choices for you, mate. But those cards are also showing, Taco, that you are stopping yourself. Personally, you're stopping yourself with that Eight of Swords being there as a prime of the reading. It's a clear sign that you do have limits, which are self-imposed. I mean, you can push the bar of your limits far further than it is right now, but it is because you are not making what you want to do, but rather what you have to do. That have to do is restricting you, right? Yeah, you can definitely do that. All right, so Tracy, are you on the right direction with your new plans? And in generally, are those new plans in the right direction with your life? Let's check it out. So Tracy, this is going to be an elemental dignity reading from a 3 cards. That is the best way how you can determine, or how one can determine that. And you're welcome, Anna. So chill out. I know that this is going to be difficult for you, Anna, because you know we talk on a different occasions, and you shared lately that kind of like you have to slow down your pace. Yeah, I truly believe that you need to kind of like can I put it into words? Um, Sometimes it is really nice when you don't have anything to do, all right, and you gotta use to that. It's very, very pleasant. Well, Tracy, those are the cards. Now, they separate on 2 questions, or rather like they give different answers to the different part of your questions. So are you going in the right directions with your plans toward being successful into what you want to do? Yes, you are. Although those plans are going to, according to these cards, they are going to undergo a change. Not right now, but there are definitely aspects that you can basically plan better and do better, which if you don't, it's not going to be the end of the world. Things are still going to happen, but it's you're going to make your life much easier if you do readapt your plans. Now, I don't remember the full scale of your question. Basically, it was about something you were chasing for a long time, and if you want to know if that's something that is going to improve your life, right? If it's going to have a worth in your life, it's going to have a big worth in your life. However, if you want to know if that's the right thing for your life, well, here the answer is it is irrelevant, because whether you have it or not, whether you achieve what you are after or not, this is not gonna make your life more or less worth living. Okay, so that what you are after, it may sound strange to you, even unthinkable, but according to the cards, Tracy, it's optional. So even if it doesn't work out for you, right? It's not gonna be the end of the world. Yeah, Taco, that's a trend, mate. I mean, people just kind of like whenever we how can I put it into words? Whenever we are used to have a certain flow, we do take that flow for granted. People take their marriage for granted, their jobs for granted, you know, they take their lives for granted, health. The biggest mistake we do, it is that we do take our health for granted. That's the worst we do. And but that's, this isn't anything personal, Taco. It's just how our mind works. And if you think about it subconsciously, without you intentionally doing it, you also take things for granted, even people for granted. Not exactly another lesson, Tracy. If it doesn't work, you can jump onto something else and have no impact of are you gonna feel successful or not at the end of the road. All right. So it's that's my point here. It's not gonna be the end of the world if it doesn't work out for you. Although for the way you are planning it right now, uh, I would, if I have to estimate with percentages, I would say 80% is going to work out, and it has to happen something miraculous not to work out. Okay. See you in D3, mate. See you in D3. All right, guys. So that's going to be for tonight. Thank you so much for your for that you are attending to the live stream, for your presence, also for your activity. Thank you so much for your support and as well your generosity. And we're going to see each other very, very soon. Until then, bye.